Morning, guys. Welcome to another week. Happy Monday. It's 7:40 a.m. on Monday. I'm already coffeeed up. I kind of wish I still had my mug next to me, but that's okay. Check out what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing another download or funnel update. Look at this. Is there any private information here? No, I think it's good. So, okay, if you're checking in on YouTube, I'm going to be doing something a little bit radical here. I'm going to be really leaning into, the content that I post here. I'm really going to be I'm going to be sharing everything. I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be teaching from my own process, sharing this journey. These downloads or creator mind maps or business funnel updates where I'm working out the energetics and the offerings of my business and working out all these creator details and these complicated things. This is something where I was straddling between, do I share them within my private school community or do I share them on YouTube? What I actually think is happening is my community, which is this creative freedom community here, and we're going to dive into this. It's not really for content. I think what I'm going to be doing is all of my teaching content I am going to be hosting on YouTube because that also helps me share this information with everybody who can benefit from it, which feels good for me energetically, and it adds a discovery mechanism so people can find these videos. Certain people will really benefit from it. So, my only slightly sad thing about switching from school to YouTube is that you guys won't see the previous 3 or 4 funnel updates because there's been a lot of development, but kind of what I do in each episode is I'll walk you through the previous one and then I'll tell you what changes. So I'm pretty sure this was the last funnel update I did. Anyways, this was on January 30th. So as I, change the energetics and offerings of my business, I learned very quickly what the next step is. So this whole beta year about trying different things has been super awesome. I've felt so much freedom. Things are developing very quickly. So here is the previous funnel, and then I'm going to show you the updates. So a big breakthrough for me worth repeating is that, I used to have 100 YouTube channels, 100 Instagram pages. I thought I had to pick a niche, all of this. But eventually I unlocked creative freedom and I realized, oh my God, I can post whatever I want on my social media profiles. And that has really allowed my entire social media presence to shift from being this influencer and being this entertainer where I need to amass a lot of views. It's actually shifted to being somewhat of a free community and something that you'll see. And let me just pull up the new one. Something that you'll see in this is the current funnel, is that I'm actually starting to see, okay, this can be where I publish my course material. And I'm at a really cool phase in my business right now because my course material, it's not well defined into a course or anything, but it's actively pouring out of me. So these funnel updates are a part of it. I think over time on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be able to pick out and see oh, okay, here's actually the path that people can take to achieve creative freedom, do tremendous things with their own business, etc. So it's really cool for me to be okay, let me just teach from my process, think out loud here on YouTube, share everything that's coming in. This is also sort of what I used to do on my podcast. On my spiritual journey, I would actively share the spiritual journey and the learnings, which is a very vulnerable thing to do, but for me, it really helps me learn more. When I teach what I'm kind of starting to figure out, it brings me so much clarity. So I'm really leaning into that. Where was I? Yes. So this has become very clearly YouTube, Instagram, newsletter, threads. This is supposed to be TikTok. All of this has sort of become the top of the funnel. So right? I used to think, oh, it's all about YouTube. It's all about Instagram. I need to get more subscribers on my newsletter. No, not anymore. Now these are all pass-through elements. These are like pass-through elements, right? Here's me. I'm able to shine my light and shine my message out into the world using these platforms, and also communicate with my community. And then people who want to can explore deeper into this funnel where I have deeper offerings, right? So let's go to the previous one. So a huge breakthrough that I had recently was I shifted my Patreon from this place where I was trying to amass all this income and share my entire message. I decided I would just do meditation sessions there and make it free or by donation. Now, making this step felt so energetically beautiful for me. People started joining and donating. I started doing the weekly meditation sessions. It felt really, really good. And then kind of what I decided I would do is I would save my deeper message for the creative freedom community. But in general, I've becoming aware of like, why are these split? If they're both my free or by donation offering, why are they split? Another thing is in this school calendar, in this group, I have the stillness sessions there. So this natural thing started to happen where they started to merge. So that's the big step that I'm going to be taking in my next iteration. Okay. I'm going to be collapsing the stillness sessions Patreon community into the creative freedom community. Right, so I'm leaning into the creative freedom community being free or by donation instead of enforcing this payment structure. So originally what I was going to do is $9 a month for 10 people, $17 a month for however many people, raise it and raise it and raise it. Now I'm like, free or by donation on Patreon felt so good. It felt so good for my heart to provide this free offering. It energizes me. I love doing the work. So then I thought, okay, why not do this? And this is cool because people can apply to join this community. If they join and if they get tremendous benefit from it, they can choose on their own accord to ascend through these support tiers. Okay, which I think is so cool. Something I'm learning that feels really good for me as I build my business is that I don't need to like make or convince anyone to pay. So this is a huge breakthrough that I've had. It's like, no, there are these options here if you want it. Same with my paid offerings, which I'll get into. I've really learned to not need to convince anyone to pay for these things. It's more like, no, I believe in what I'm offering so much now. Let me prove it to you. And then you can choose where you want to land in my offerings. So this feels so good. So anyways, one thing that I'm a little bit nervous about with merging the meditation group and the creative freedom group is that there are different stages of this journey. And in my creative freedom group so far, everyone is like ready to create. But that takes a certain amount of inner work to reach that point. There are individuals, and this is not meant to be a judgmental thing. There are individuals who don't have that fire yet. Okay, and so what I was kind of doing by separating the Patreon and the Creative Freedom group is I was like, okay, in this group, I'm going to kind of withhold some of my gifts and some of my energy, which actually feels like the same compartmentalization that I was doing when I had a second channel and a main channel. Okay, so I identified that there's something that's not working there. I think I need to have this singular free or donation-based offering where I let all of my gifts out for everyone who wants them. I'm still creating this like sacred border around this community by making everyone apply. Okay, and if someone applies and I'm not 100% sure if they're the right fit, I'm gonna ask them to book 15 minutes on my calendar because I really want to make sure that this is a safe space for people. Okay, so this feels really, really cool. All of this feels really cool. Then what I'm thinking is, okay, nobody has to join the creative freedom calls if they're not ready for that. They can just join the stillness sessions and then eventually maybe they'll want to hop on the creative freedom calls and see what's going on there. I also had this idea to do something called Sangha sessions. Sangha is a spiritual community. So this is a new download. Okay, maybe instead of just creative freedom calls where we focus on people's creativity and their projects and their businesses, and some people are trying to show up online, some people are trying to build their own funnels. Maybe I could have one more focused on just discussion of spiritual matters. I'm thinking like, okay, my whole thing is creative freedom. How can I make this community be all of me? And let me show you something that's cool. So here's kind of and this is part of what I mean is my curriculum is starting to pour out of me. All of a sudden, this is starting to be clear to me. Like these are 3 of the integral components to achieve creative freedom. And this diagram just poured out of me one day. And I'm like, oh, stillness sessions, that's kind of like consume less because we sit in silence. Sangha sessions, also I think 3 Joules has the same name for something, so sorry, 3 Joules. That's like doing inner work or focusing on spiritual work in a way. Stillness sessions and Sangha sessions, these have a lot of overlap, consume less and inner work. But all 3 of these are interdependent, so of course they have overlap. And then creative freedom call is like, okay, yeah, let's focus on creating more. And of course, when we talk about people's creative projects, inner work comes up and this piece comes up. It's all connected, but I thought it was really cool that this idea to have these 3 different sessions kind of correlated with my thing here. And this is actually an outdated diagram because one of the wings is community and another one of the wings is mentorship. And I think this creative freedom community actually offers both of those as well. So this is really, really cool. Okay. I'll tell you one thing that makes me nervous about this is like, oh, what if nobody donates? What if nobody donates? I pour all this energy in and nobody sees the value, nobody donates. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's tremendous, tremendous value in here. I think people are going to join. Something else I'm considering that I talked about in my last funnel update, but you guys won't see because that's when I was still posting them on school, but that's okay. Something I was considering is like, ooh, are there different tiers and perks I can offer for each of these tiers? So right now for 9, I'm thinking that's just baseline thank you tier. In fact, I might even want to get rid of 9 sooner than later because honestly, this community, I think 17 at this point feels like the right like base donation to me. And then I was thinking, what could I offer for 45? What could I offer for 97? Right now, my idea is 45 gets an exclusive group chat with me and other members of that tier. 97 gets the same thing and 1 monthly one-on-one call. And when enough people join, that becomes a group call. That way I am actually holding different containers for people depending on how deep they want to go in this creative freedom work. Obviously, mentorship is a staple offering. This is a deep one-on-one relationship where we work on creative freedom. We work on the holistic path to creative freedom. So all of these components, whichever needs work, we get in the whole thing. We have this deep one-on-one relationship. That's a great offering that I'm feeling much more confident, more excited to offer. In fact, these prices are starting to feel quite low, so I'm thinking I'm going to raise them up soon here. But yeah, this is like a deep coaching offer. Again, for those who feel that kind of alignment. not some high pressured situation. Anybody who wants to can be in this group for free. They can donate or they can just stay in for free and get all of these benefits. And then I'm still trying to work out what I want to do with the one-off session. Do I want to let anybody jump into a one-off session? Do I want it to only be after the mentorship, only for people in the community? Not 100% sure. Right now, I kind of am feeling it out. I have it open for everyone, but I'm not too sure. And right now I have it at 97 for a 45 to 60 minute session, plus 2 weeks of texting after for integration and implementation support with whatever we worked on the inner journey or the creator journey. And we really do both inner work and creator strategy in the work I do. And then the free 30-minute connection call is really for anybody who feels called to go deeper. And I'm thinking, right, people can come from the top of my funnel. They can enter my world through the connection call, or they can go straight to the creative freedom. Well, anyone can go straight to the community and apply for that, or straight to mentorship and apply for that, or straight to a one-off session. Or if you just want to get a feel for me and what I offer, now there's a free connection call for anybody. So we could see, should you go here? Should you go here? Should you go here? Y'all, this feels pretty freaking clean to me, okay? This feels pretty freaking clean. So there's the funnel update, and then I just want I touched on this at the beginning, but the purpose of YouTube is shifting for me. Since I now have this community and clients and things like this, I'm seeing YouTube as like, oh yeah, this is a place where I can host my content, where I'm talking to all these people who are in my world. And then everyone in the public can kind of watch what's going on and see if they want to get involved. So that's super interesting. And right, I can see this broader public thing as a sort of free community offering or free course material. So I'm having all these ideas for YouTube. I'm like, oh, I could get back into the podcast. These downloads or funnel updates, or I guess I'll keep it with Creator Mind Map. This could be a series. Creator earnings and learnings that I used to do on a separate side hustle channel. That could be a monthly series. I could sort of have all these different things going on YouTube. Now that I'm not using it in this influencer way, I can post as much as I want. Nothing needs to get views. It's really just for the people who want to learn this stuff and want to learn the journey I'm on. And sometimes I think, more general content will come out on YouTube that's more widely accessible. But then there's going to be stuff like this for people who want to really see what I'm actively learning and teaching and figuring it out. And then I think over time, from allowing this freedom of expression on YouTube, I think over time a solid course is going to be developed, but that's not something that I'm rushing. Something I learned recently from one of my mentors is what he calls the emergence phase. It's like there's a phase where your curriculum it's pouring out of you, but it's too early to force it into a structure, because if you force it into a structure, you're going to miss something. That's why it's been super, super, something I've been leaning into in my mentorship calls and in my creative freedom community and in the one-off sessions. And this is something that's always felt good for me, but I always thought I had to shove my knowledge into a framework for people to follow. Now I've just been embracing no, I think the best thing I can do is show up with a blank mind and see what comes out, because that's when I'm actually able to, from this huge journey I've been on, I'm actually able to hear the other person and really say what needs to be said, kind of from the depths of my experience, instead of trying to force this framework and this path that I'm not even 100% sure yet is the right path. And I'm not going to define that path until I've brought 100 people through it and I'm crystal clear on what that is. So very exciting phase in my creative freedom journey right now. I hope you found this funnel update interesting. If you want to go deeper on any of this with me, you can see my offerings right here. I don't even need to mention them. I will have links in the description so you can book this connection call, apply for this, or just book one of these straight up. So appreciate you watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. Bye.